Hey everybody, welcome back. One quick editorial note before we get started today. The plan for the channel is moving forward to try to post content on Mondays. I don't know if it'll be quite every Monday, but it's going to be close. But it will be on Mondays moving forward, so keep an eye out for that as we go along. As for today, I think a really good sort of starting point for us is to just talk about what mini tours are and what makes them different. There are a few key differences between mini tours and the larger tours that you're more familiar with. Those most notably being size and reach, accessibility, and purse composition. As far as size and reach, the PGA Tour, the Korn Ferry Tour, those larger tours that you are familiar with, no doubt, they play across the entire country and often internationally. Mini tours, by contrast, are going to be far more regional and localized. What do I mean by that? The Minor League Golf Tour, for instance, is based in Southeast Florida. All of its events are in Southeast Florida. The Asher Tour, for example, is out in California. They play in California. The G Pro Tour is based primarily in the Carolinas, but they do play a little bit in Georgia, but it's always sort of within that southeastern portion of the United States. As a result of this, sponsors are a little bit harder to come by. So you see, like on the PGA Tour, Federal Express obviously sponsors the FedEx Cup and the FedEx St. Jude. Mini tours, because of their local nature, they are able to attract some local sponsors, but it's far more difficult and it happens far less frequently. The result of that is that the purse composition is very different. So on the PGA Tour, with those big sponsors, the purses get jacked up. That money gets injected directly into the purses that the players play for. On mini tours, the purses are comprised, for the most part, of the entry fees of the players themselves. So let's say, for an example, 20 of us decide we're going to go play an event, and we all pay $100 just as an entry fee. We'll keep the math simple. I was a communications major for a reason, right? But let's say 20 of us play. We all pay $100 as an entry fee. We have $2,000 to pull from now. Unfortunately, we don't have that full $2,000 because we have to pay the golf course for hosting us and blocking off tee times. We also have to pay the event organizers for putting on the tournament and handling all the logistics for us so that we can compete. So again, simply for the sake of easy math, in our little example, let's just say that costs $500. So now we have 75% of that purse left, $1,500. Of that $1,500, again, it varies from tour to tour and it depends on the field size, but the Minor League Golf Tour, I think, has a really great structure. Small events, they pay out 33% of the field. Larger events, they pay out 40%, and then the largest events, they pay out close to 50% of the field. Those are typically the ones with the largest fields, but also with some outside sponsorship funds being injected into the purse. So in our example, it's 20 of us playing. I think that classifies us as a small field event. So we'll say we'll pay out 33% of the field. That means 7 of the 20 of us are going to walk away today with some money. 25%, however, are going to recoup their money or make more. So that means that 5 of the 20 of us are going to at least break even today, but the other 2, while they're going to make a little bit, they're not going to recoup their money. They're still going to lose money, but they're not going to lose the full $100 that they paid to get in. So, kind of a typical breakdown you would see roughly would be like the winner would get maybe $700, second place would get like $400, and then third, fourth, and fifth would recoup their money at $100, or with some slight variations there maybe. And then sixth and seventh would maybe get like 50 apiece, or 75, 25, however it ends up shaking out. But that's kind of a standard format that you sort of see. So 5 of 20 are going to get paid today. And fundamentally, they're going to get paid from the money of the other 15 that competed. And that's what's really different about mini tours, is that kind of at the end of the day, when you strip everything away, you're basically playing to earn your own money back and to try to earn the money of your competitors. It's almost like an organized money game. And that isn't for everybody. To be very clear, not everybody enjoys that. It does create a really unique feeling. It can be isolating. And so when you hear people talk about how much of a grind mini tours are, that is a large part of it. Just the atmosphere itself is different because of the way the purse has to be constructed. It's also challenging because, like we pointed out, at the tour level itself, attracting sponsors, if you are a player on a mini tour, it is harder for you to attract sponsors individually than it would be if you were on the PGA Tour, for all the same reasons. You have less exposure, less visibility, so you provide theoretically less value to the brand that would think about sponsoring you. So that's why you see on mini tours a lot of players working part-time or sometimes even full-time jobs to try to fund it, because at the end of the day, you are kind of your own bank. You are bankrolling your own efforts. The money is all yours. It's coming out of your pocket. And to an extent, you're gambling with it. Now, you may be saying, right, that's a lot of kind of challenges. Maybe doesn't sound all that fun. Are there any benefits to playing on mini tours? There are. Accessibility. So the PGA Tour, the Korn Ferry Tour, all of those tours are going to require some sort of Q school, qualifying school process to earn a card, to earn status, to be able to even try to register for events. Now, there are technically a couple caveats to that. There are a couple workarounds. They have been changing the format of late, and it looks like, thanks to Harris English, maybe accidentally leaking it, they might be changing the format again for the schedule, the season structure, and therefore potentially how you get in. But for the intents and purposes of this video, we're going to say that in order to play on the PGA Tour or the Korn Ferry Tour, you have to go to Q School, and you have to go through the different stages and earn a card. Mini tours, you don't. There's a handicap requirement, and those are all pretty easily accessible on the website of whichever tour you're looking at trying to play on. But as long as you meet that requirement and you have the finances required to register for the event that you want to play in, you're in. Congrats, tee it up, go compete, and play well. And so it does make it a very grassroots, sort of ground floor entry level into professional golf. It's far more accessible. It gives everybody a real opportunity to turn pro and to compete and play for money and try to launch a career where they're able to, earn a living playing the game that we all love. So that is a massive, in my opinion, a massive perk to mini tours. It's why I'm playing them. It's why I'm excited to play them. The accessibility, the sort of grassroots, democratic feel to it, if you will, is really enticing to me. More so than all of the challenges that I listed off kind of at the beginning of this video. So yeah, that's it for today. Hopefully you found it informative, gives you a little bit more idea of how mini tours are comprised and how they function and how they're different from the tours that you were probably a little more familiar with coming in. Like I said, next time probably we will try to break down the PGA Tour, the Korn Ferry Tour, those go through their qualifying process, how you earn status, and again, I mentioned those couple caveats and workarounds. I'll talk about those too. But for now, that's it for today. Thank you for listening, and we'll talk soon.